love 3D printers, but not the FDM ones. I like 3D printed trunks as much as the next person. I still can't get over the sort of prototypey feel of the layer lines and the gimmicky nature of how FDM is usually holographic 3D printed dragon. Because FDM just isn't that good. It's not for manufacturing. Resin printers are capable of making injection mold level products out of materials that could never have been injection molded, which is a massive breakthrough. I've clickbaited you because I think traditional advertising is dead, but I have a strategy that I'd like to show you. The point is to make media on what you're doing, but to know what you're doing, you need to have good documentation for that. So all the documentation needs to live in the same place so everybody has access to everything. Because all the documentation is in one place, it's really easy to figure out what you want to make media on, because you're just making media on what you're doing. And what you're doing is going to be what's being documented. Obsidian is a file-first markdown document parser that we use to manage all of the company's documentation. We have a section called concepts where we put our sparks, which are just ideas for videos. If we're working on a project inside Obsidian that is useful, that we want to turn into a video or something in the future, we'll put Spark next to it. And then as we make a production, we build out a brief for that production, linking to other notes in the vault that are related. After a brief is made, they move over to linear. It's incredibly powerful and very, very well designed, and sometimes a little bit complicated, but we've gotten it to a point where we can use these templates that are based on the different types of media output structures that we may have. We bring that information from Obsidian into linear so that then we can see it on a timeline around the rest of our work. Linear is also very useful because we can see what other stuff we're currently working on that should be turned into media at that given time, and all the source documentation is linked between the two platforms. By setting groups, it predefines your objective. We were inspired by how Rally works to do our grouping system for our media. Group A is very strict requirements: 1 short form, 1 photo. Group B is 1 long form, 1 short form, and 1 photo at least. Group C is 1 or more photos, 1 or more short forms, and 1 or more long forms. This system is tool agnostic. It doesn't really need to be built on top of Obsidian or linear. It could be done in a spreadsheet and a Google Doc if you really wanted to do so. The interplay between departments is actually the most interesting thing you can showcase from your company. So by having everybody putting everything in the same place, it's much easier to make those connections, and it ends up being much more fun to watch. What matters is that you're reducing the friction around making content around the work you're actually doing. And this is where it serves a valuable purpose and can be a high value alternative to traditional advertising media, because it means you don't have to make anything else. You just show people what you're doing and they feel part of the process. There is a bit of a shift in responsibility which has to occur for this to work well. Every team needs to be responsible for recording everything, but after that, all they have to do is upload it. If it's uploaded, then there's no further coordination required, because the media team can just see everything all together in this one big timeline and string together that collaboration work and what's going on. All the media is organized in Image, which is an open source Google Photos, Apple Photos storage alternative. The reason why we use something like this rather than a drive is because it means we can store images in multiple locations at once through albums. Everybody has an Image account and they upload videos from their work constantly. Most phones record at 4K now, so the average person can upload a video which is still croppable for short form content or usable in a landscape for a long form video. However you store it, the best way to do it is some chronological gallery format. It's much better because there's no file, so nothing's hidden, and you can see what's being done at what given time by referencing your project management suite to see at what point something happened and then find that in your gallery. It's not that much extra work to do media on the work that you're doing if you're documenting it all appropriately and assigning groups and doing all this sort of pre-structured detail in advance. And that makes it way better than a normal advertisement, because you don't have to get some random person to come in, try and learn about your company, and then implement some totally abstracted, out of touch ad campaign when you can just use the work you're actually doing. Why do we even need all this sort of stuff? Well, we're building a very important product for measuring things, and we want to do it in a way where we can manufacture it entirely in-house in this garage. The important thing about it is that we can take these factories, fit the whole thing in a shipping container, and put it anywhere in the world. By having a setup with additive manufacturing as our main method for making components, it means we can rapid prototype in the development phase, but also continually refine the production, getting rid of errors and issues that would occur while it's out in the field. To do that, we need him. And so I've taught all you guys our secret of how we make all the content that we're going to make, hopefully so that those guys give us a printer so we can make stuff for them, or so they can make stuff for us, or we can make stuff with them.
Yeah, really went over time. I'm so glad we can't be assistant.